Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time and depending on when you're going to see this video. It's your brother, your boy, Reps Corner. Like I always say, it's my corner, it's your corner, and it's our corner. In today's video, I'll be continuing with the symposium. English will not kill me. English will not kill me. English will not kill me. Symposium, I mean meeting. Yes, we continue the symposium that is ongoing by the Labour Party presidential candidate, who is by the name Mr. Peter Obi. Yes, like we know, he's on a tour, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with us the meeting he had in Atlanta, Georgia. Is a symposium he had, and what he told them about good governance, promising them all he will do, and teaching them and giving a lecture on what they should support. So guys, I'm going to be playing the video for us now. Please, I want to thank all of us who haven't come here to be with me. Thank you so much for always being with me. Till I come away next time to you. See your screen and leave us with this video. Thank you.
Professor Pat Utomi, good evening, Atlanta. I am so thrilled. I am truly excited to see the fire in all of you, and I hope it will be burning all over the place very soon. I have come on this journey with a very simple message. You know, politicians are merchants of hope. The reason that we have politics is that people will inspire in you the vision of a new possibility, and just buying into that vision is what makes for the progress that most of society has seen. Unfortunately, in our recent experience, we have been sowing despair. And that despair can be seen in the anger of the young of our country. When you take away a sense for a greater tomorrow from any people, you quench the possibilities. And so our country, a country which the founding fathers built on the sense that the human spirit can triumph over anything, has become a place of insecurity. It has become a place of insecurity because the young do not feel that there are possibilities left for them, and they turn to the only way they can express themselves: violence. So the need to unite and secure our country has been palpable for a long time. Now there are many ways you can try and fix a problem when you have one. Now one of those ways is to ignore what the naysayers say about how things can become possible. But we know that anybody who has faith knows that he makes a way where there seems to be no way. And in this commitment to finding a way, groups of Nigerians, thinking people, began to work at understanding why Nigeria, with all its potential, does not seem to work. And that's not the only place in the world where a country of enormous potential did not seem to work for a long time. As a graduate student living in this country some 42 or so years ago, my own academic pursuits were around this very subject. And my focus was a country in Latin America called Brazil. It seemed so hopeless at the point in time that I actually gave up in studying Latin American economies, and my interest moved to Southeast Asia. But one of the most remarkable things that's happened to me is that many, many years later, I would see a man that I confronted here in New York in 1979 and question the thesis that was dominant in development thinking in Latin America at that time. They were generally called independistas. The thesis that we are locked into a structural dependence, and that the only way to make progress is to break out of international capitalism. And there are scholars talking about things like selective delinking from international capital. That man, who was their father, their godfather, was then living in Chile. I was working at the Economic Commission of Latin America. Many, many years later, in Lagos, he came to give a talk at the Anyamoshiwe lecture series. And between when he and I had this confrontation in New York and that meeting in Lagos, he had gone through a number of iterations, which included returning to Brazil, literally from exile, becoming foreign minister of Brazil, and then suddenly while he was speaking in New York, being told by the president that he would become finance minister. At the time when the lifespan of the finance minister was like 3 months, because things were going so bad and finance ministers were being blamed, and so they were changing them like a napkin. And this man stepped into the role of finance minister. And today, Brazil is not a country of great potential anymore. It is one of the world's top 7 economies. If it is possible in Brazil, it is possible in Nigeria. And so, many people began to look at why it was not happening in Nigeria. And one of the reasons, very clear, very apparent, but we were not seeing, was the nature of the political parties that we have managed to create in Nigeria. I mean, it's very simple. You don't have to try very hard. I was one of those who campaigned for General Buhari under the assumption that one thing he had lived for all his life was breaking the back of corruption. But I regret that he has become the most corrupt complex in Nigerian history. And the problem is not Buhari. The problem is the nature of that structure. That structure presents us with the kind of transactions that inevitably take emphasis away from purpose and focuses on power. State capture becomes the essence of the pursuit of power. And this has crippled Nigeria. And we began to say that we need a broad way, we need a new way. That way was to create a movement that will go out of the structural challenges of those political parties to bring about a new order focused on the elevation of the dignity of Nigeria, focused on his freedom. Where they talk about freedom in Atlanta. Yes. I came to this city, and Martin Okafor unfortunately isn't here for some reason, but Martin and I went together to the funeral of Martin Luther King Sr. in this town. I don't know, sir, some decades ago. Because of how closely I related to the quest for freedom in this country, the time has come for Nigeria to be free. The time of liberation is here, but the critical part of the liberation of the 20th century was the diaspora. The liberation of Japan, following the Meiji Restoration, came from diaspora. India rising has come from the diaspora. If you look at how today Nobel Prize winning American economists like Paul Krugman are beginning to question their positions on globalization. But look at those who were most steadfast on pushing globalization. When Joseph Stiglitz wrote a book, Globalization and Its Discontents, the response came from great Indian economists at Columbia State University, like Jagdish Mukherjee, who wrote books in praise of globalization. Why? Because they have in their eyes. Chinese diaspora did that. The time has come for the Nigerian diaspora to turn and your charge is already being set. I was very happy to listen to the chairman when he spoke. It is not a mouse thing. We have to put our passion, our resources where the issue is. How will our passion make a difference? How will our resources make a difference? Like Chairman was saying, all of us here have dependents back in Nigeria. All of us here have people who influence Nigeria. If every one of us will ensure that 10 people close to some particular polling booth make it their passion to ensure that they canvass the neighborhood, that they get the votes out, and they demand the votes to prevent this structure that they talk about, the structure of evil, the structure of criminality, the structure of vote stealing, the structure of vote party, vote buying from preventing the will of the Nigerian people. You can do it. The question is, you understand what Nike says? Just do it. How can you do it? There is people to work. Many of us have already spoken and spoken to the resources that it will take to make this happen. Organize yourselves. Say to yourselves, Atlanta will ensure that Kaduna State, Plateau State, and Delta State are obedient. And they come out and vote, and that they protect their votes, and that they make things happen. We're not talking mechanics here now. Campaign has not started. We're not campaigning, we will not campaign, we're just saying to Nigerians, how do you build a democracy that can be sustained? And your work will make a difference in making that democracy possible. And so I stand with you, I stand by you, I stand for you, and I come to the man who has emerged as the focal point of the thrust of the movement that's involved in Nigeria. The movement that we have called all kinds of things, third force, the big tanks, is a movement that takes in several political parties, besides the one that he has come out of that is leading the charge, the Labour Party. It's a movement that has taken in social movements. It's a movement that has taken in civil society organizations, and we're building a coalition for a new Nigeria. Be part of that dream. Get in. Make it happen. And we will celebrate the new Nigeria come 2023. God bless you all.
Go and start talking about qualifications and this and that. So I didn't want that to get to that stage. I wanted us to just go straight and discuss the issues that are very important to us. First, let me most sincerely thank all of you that are gathered here for your time, for your sacrifice, for your concern about Nigeria. When we arrived here, I was surprised. Maybe because we were looking, when I asked them, what is the time? They said, it's 9 o'clock, or day after 9 o'clock. I thought we would have started much earlier. But they said, I remember that when we were in California, they told us that Atlanta and Houston don't start things on time.
Based on Houston, they don't start things on time. That's not good.
Why don't you go there and welcome them at the door? They say, don't worry, when we are there, maybe they will let you know. So thank you for your time, thank you for everything. Chairman, thank you for the introduction and the speech and everything. I thank you for the I think that it myself that we have now gotten to a stage where we have to withdraw all forms of introduction, all sorts of names like His Excellency, Honorable, Dishonorable, and it is time to move all those things on the things that work we can move them. So first is not time to show and start talking about educational qualification. It's very important. People like Prof, who can still very Prof, Utomi. I tell you, I call you Prof because you show that you're Prof. But in my case, I always see, I've seen so many educated people who are far worse. You can imagine. And now I'm ready to come to one conclusion. An educational qualification is not a measure of integrity. We have to talk about Nigeria. Everywhere I've been, you're the ninth stop in this first phase of 10 cities stop. After you have just one place left, and I live there. But everywhere I go, I see the number of Nigerians that are there to work on, there to discuss and pray. My question, which I asked all of them, if all of you are here, who is the mayor in Nigeria? Who are even thinking? Like I've told Prof, is it not time we start to do how we can go? Because we cannot continue to stay forever. People have also said to me and asked me various questions that Nigeria will train good Nigerians out of Nigeria. And this thing, I said, yes. That I don't worry at all. Let all the good ones go on. Don't worry at all. People think it's something to worry. No. Prof will tell it. My position is that brain drain will be the brain drain. We will use you people to do that place. You will be the first one investors will get when we start turning it around. Right now, politics is double one. It's worse. You left because things were not working. Some of you left when Naira was still
150. Oh, 45 kobo.
Some of you left when it was 1 Naira and 1. The time was going to go out. Some left when it was 2 Naira to 1. Some left when it was 3. And it continues to deteriorate. And people are still some of you left when Nigerian educational system was among the best in the world. People used to go to school, finish the University of Nigeria, University of Lagos, and all of Ife everywhere, and go straight to do their masters in universities in the UK, in America, and everywhere. It's a disaster. Some of you left when there was no crime. You can move freely. You can drive from Lagos to Abuja. You can drive to everywhere. Today, you can't do it. There's even places you can't fly. You can't go to Kaduna by road. You can't go by air. You can't go by train. And these are what the country can go through. You left because it was not good. But your position, I can tell, and I say everyone, is worse. Because you left and ran to where you thought things are okay. So you can walk and live a better life. But suddenly, you cannot even live and enjoy the hard work because you have become the social welfare, the MTN, the everything for those left behind. For every 10 call you get from Nigeria today, 11 so you can't even enjoy that much of it. That peace, that thing you run away to come and do, you're worse now.
It's worse too.
You are the social worker, you are the funeral director, everything. You are in charge of hospital, you are in charge of doctor, every day you're coming out. How is it doing? Is it recovering? You are what? The one paying school fees, the one even taking them to the labor, the one in their way, asking them for where they're giving them, and you are paid. If they do operation, you will pay. If you don't pay, they keep them in hospital. So it's a crisis situation for you. But there people, how did we get here? That is the question. How did a country so blessed, a country that was once being celebrated all over the world, all over the world, countries like China, South Korea, and all these things were still today. Go and check our situation in the 1980s. Was not in any way to be compared with us. Today they become something we need to emulate. Today we are being reminded about level of education. Listen to the chairman when he was talking and he said, Singapore. Chairman, I don't compare Singapore with Nigeria. I'm one of those who don't do that. One is the two things I don't compare third world and first world. This one is third. The other one is first. Always compare third world with third world. Two, Singapore is just about 5-6 million people, and we are 200 million people. But if you look to compare with Africa, it will shock you that Nigerian budget for education, a country of 200 million people, our budget for education in the past 6 years, 2015 to 2021, 6 years, is not up to, is barely 50%, but not up to the same budget of South Africa, the second biggest country. The budget for 1 year, 2021, is just barely about 50-60% of that. Our budget for 6 years, 200 million in population, and they are 60 million. South Africa, another third world country. That is the level of crisis we face. I know the count. So what has happened? We now live in a country where Nigeria, that used to be very safe, is now classified among the most terrorized country of the world. We are now among the highest deaths of kidnapping. Yesterday, he was talking about education. The next said, our out of school have increased to 20 million. Yesterday, where are people living? 1st of September. We now have the highest number of people living in poverty. In fact, we have more people living in poverty than India and China combined. These two countries is now the total of 2.8 billion. We are 200 million. How did we get there? We've overtaken India in infant mortality. If you go, India is 1.4 billion and 200 million. But we're overtaking them. Our youth are not doing anything. Drug prevalence among our youth is the highest in the world, 14.8, when the average is 5.8. The crisis just continues like that. How do we get there? It's cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. Where the leaders are choosing not to do the right thing, and the followers are being insanely complacent. Because you can't blame only the leaders. The followers are also insanely complacent. They're choosing to not celebrate criminality and bad governance. We're part of it. And that is one part is telling you that we choose to say no to this. We must start changing it. We must start dealing with it. How are we going to deal with it? Chairman, related to that, I will not be speaking, I will be speaking from the chairman in charge and everything. Chairman, I know how important the education is. But we'll start by securing the country. Let me tell you the security. Not true. We've not decided. We can't have a situation where we have a country where non-state actors and criminals are taking over and are stronger than the government. One must be in charge, either the government or the criminals. It's only in Nigeria can I give you a excuse. Somebody is kidnapped, taken into the boat. The kidnappers are phoning the family of the victim, telling him where to keep the money. And if the victim becomes sick, doctor goes to see him. They are still talking with the family on phone. They know where they are going to keep the money. They know everything, but police don't know where they are. But they are using phone. And they know where they are going to keep the money. And you are going to tell police where they say they keep the money. But police will not arrest them.
Big joke.
That's all I was saying. This is a business. We must stop. We will deal with it decisively. But cannot control.
Because nobody's been fired. Nobody's been asked questions.
I have a phone on this table. If anybody wants to know where I am, they will find me. If you like going to anyone, they found some of the money. They found Gaddafi. They found him in their bedroom. In this one, they are phoning and saying they are where people are giving excuse. They cannot continue. So we will work hard to secure the country. I won't give you all the details tonight, but I assure you, I'm giving you an example. We will ensure law and order.
Yes.
We will not have a country where bad behavior, rascality, has become a measure of success and power. We cannot continue. We must have people, we must have respect, we must have character. And we do simple things.
I'm here live. Defying.
Where are we even accused of planters? Because wherever I've been in America, they say 7 o'clock, I say let's go there. They say no, we'll go to that. Why did you not say? Even though we're not going to be there by 7, right? Send it to 7:30. We must put things way other we can no longer continue to be different. We don't want to be different any longer. We want to do what they are doing so that when the people don't appreciate us, then we will know. I tell people, when I became governor of Anambra State, the governor before me, Dr. Christian, was very popular. And everywhere I go, people say, "Hi." And someone came on and I said, "I should stop allowing this man to go all over the place. Wherever I am, shouldn't go." I said, "Okay, let's find out what to do and the people." So we can do. After that, he doesn't want. If he's getting the where are we from? But we first have to do what they are doing. So I want us to do what the people in the Western world, in Singapore, everybody is doing. They live in sales. We're not to make it judge or whoever can do that. They let it work. But we cannot be on our own, behave opposite, and that's it. We must then choose to hire the best people to do the work. Yes, sir. I've been flying around and I've been telling people. So that story, everyone. I was once going to East Africa to study education. What they are doing, why is education working in Kenya? I've been to Ghana. Why is it working in Kenya? Why is it working in Uganda? Why is it not working in Nigeria? And when I got Kenya was very expensive, so I couldn't buy their ticket. I was looking for where to buy the cheap airline and take me to Kenya, Uganda, and I found Rwanda. And I bought their ticket. And I go home and I told my wife that I bought this ticket 50% cheaper than Airways. He said, "Which airline?" I said, "Rwanda Airways." They have been from there before. I said, "No." He said, "Peter, why do you always, because of cost, want to put your life at risk?" I said, "Let me tell you, there won't be a high qualified pilot in the plane. And I'm sure the pilot doesn't want to die." So he doesn't want to die outside. He told me they won't do anything why the other one is more expensive. It's not like every day. They won't do anything people fly to the US. They don't do expensive. They must be the pilot must be inside that plane. They will not hire a driver. They want to qualify person. According to a Rwandan Air, they have a brand new Airbus. Brand new Airbus. And we are three in business class. We took off to Ghana, which is the first stop before going to Nairobi. About an hour or two into the flight, the pilot came out and looked at me and said, "Good afternoon, my governor." And I turned and said, "Who are you?" He said, "Two of us is that company. I'm the captain. My co-pilot are Nigerians." They were qualified. They hired them because they are qualified.
Right.
They didn't ask them where they came from. So their nationality was not important. Their tribe was not important. They didn't ask about their religion. It wasn't about connection. It wasn't their tongue and it wasn't their tribe. We have doctors here all over the world. I have never been to hospital because I've never been sick. I tried not to be sick because I want to rest. But I've had a procedure where doctor said, we're going to remove something. And I said, fine. So they put me in St. Mary's Hospital in the UK. Everything that was discussing was with one people. And they said, go to the surgeon. 2 people are going to perform the surgery. And here I am in the theater. 2 black people walking.
Nigerians.
These people I thought that these people are anything in Nigeria. What are they doing here? And 2 of them Nigerians. One is from Ondo, one is from Ondo.
What is from here?
And that's what we see everywhere here.
He said the second one is from where?
They don't ask them where they come from.
Forgive.
They don't know their tribe. They are
He said
celebrated
forgive me, I don't know where.
because they are qualified.
Excuse me.
In Nigeria, what would they do? These are things we want to avoid. So we started a movement to say, these are things that brought us where we are. We want to bring stability to policy. Bring what will make it work. And you are going to become it. Our human capital, chairman of the show, is too low. We are number 168, number 170. The more you invest in education, the better your development. And you can't talk about physical infrastructure without dealing with human infrastructure. Today, everybody knows that knowledge drives everything. And you're not investing. Our university is closed now for 6 months. And we are going out to look for foreign investment. You have no security. You have no human capital. You have no electricity. And you want someone to come and invest. The person has to be alive to enjoy the profit when you invest in money. So it's a problem. Everybody has been talking about power. Tell me, is there any other science about power? The fastest deployment of power in the past 5 years happened in Egypt, Vietnam, and India. All these countries that take world countries, Egypt has doubled their power generation from under 20,000 megawatts to over 50,000 megawatts. Vietnam has gone from 36,000 to about 75,000. And of course, India is phenomenal. I don't want to compare what we do. Everything. How did they do it? What did they do? To tell you how bad it is, Nigeria cannot generate beyond 4,000 megawatts in the past, call it almost 20 years. We are number 1 country in Africa, the biggest in Africa. We are the giant in Africa, 200 million people, and we are generating, distributing 4,000 megawatts. And we are not worried about it. We are not worried. The second biggest economy in Africa is South Africa. 60 million, about 60 million population. They are generating about 50,000. And 3 weeks ago, he came from South Africa. President Agoza declared emergency power 3 weeks ago. Am I right? And said that every South African or company can generate up to 100 megawatts without license. Somebody that is generating 50,000 declare the emergency, the person with 4,000 is keeping quiet. That is enough to shut down the entire country until we generate power. The same thing in Egypt. Egypt declared emergency in power, and in 5 years, moved from about 20,000 to over 50,000. But we're not declaring emergency because it's not necessary. Today, we're the only country in the world, apart from Venezuela, the only open country apart from Venezuela because of sanctions, that is not meeting its oil quota. At the time oil price is high. Venezuela is because of sanctions. At the time we need every dollar, and this is the greatest source of any dollar. Every other person is asking, can they increase their quota? But our quota is 1.8 million barrels a day. And we're not meeting it. Throughout the month of July, on the average, our daily quota was 1,083,000. So every day we could not do 717,000 of what we are supposed to do. Throughout the month of July, 31 days, we lost 22,257 barrels. And throughout that month, the average sale was about 110. So we lost $2,445,000,000, which is the used rate. I told them when I spoke to lawyers, I said, because every time I use the rate of my own official rate, the own official rate is 410, mine is 660. And they lied me. Why will I use that rate? I said, because that is the rate that is available to me and every other person. That one you can use. There is other people can get it, no one can get it. So I use the one that is available to us. I said to them, if your rate is 410, mine is 690, combine the two, then they will give us 1,100, divide it into 2. So we can find out the 555. And if you multiply it with that, you will see that we lost 1 month. We lost 4 billion. 1 month. This is a country that is borrowing everything. Just to tell you how bad, this is a country that needs all the money. And you're losing this one. You're losing this.